HERA'S Nightmare in Westminster, Maryland is a mall haunt at the Westminster Mall. It's only in its second year, and we wanted to get here last year, just never got around to it, but it's cool to get to check it out for the second year. To be honest, we really didn't know what to expect with this haunt because none of us had ever been to a mall haunt before. There is another mall haunt in Maryland called Bennett's Curse, which we do plan on getting to at some point, maybe next year. But yeah, as our first experience at a mall haunt, this was a great one. Really high production on this place, and like the walkthroughs are way longer than you would expect them to be. I guess like when I think about a mall haunt, I think that the floor space would be less than at your typical outdoor haunt, but actually the walkthroughs were all pretty lengthy. And we all pretty much agreed that the best aspect of this haunt was the themes, particularly Hexen Hollow and Bite Fight. Those were especially well themed and high production, and yeah, very good storyline and presentation. Your expectations will pretty much be exceeded as soon as you walk into this place, because you're expecting to just walk into a regular mall and then with like the entrance to this place off to the side, but instead when you walk into the mall entrance, the Midway is the one whole wing of the mall. So you have this really big area with lots of statuary, lots of lighting and music and all that stuff. It actually is the equivalent of a Scream Park Midway inside of a mall, which I thought was really cool. And the gift shop was really, really nice. Like probably one of the nicest haunt gift shops I've ever seen outside of like the HHN tribute store or something like that. So yeah, really high points for the Midway here also, in addition to the houses themselves. Well, I do have a new attraction for the second year. It's called like Selfie Vault or something like that. It isn't included with the standard combo ticket, so we didn't add that on. But we did get to like walk through it on our way to the gift shop after the third house, and it did look interesting. So if that's something you might be interested in, you might want to consider adding that on. But yeah, we really didn't have a ton of time here because we did Bedlam in the Burrow before this one, and we got here near closing, so we just opted out of doing that. But yeah, let's get right into the house ratings. The first house that you do at this haunt is Curse of Hexen Hollow, and they make you do them in order. If you get the combo ticket, you start at the end, and the first house that you go through is Hexen Hollow. And yeah, the theme for this one was really good. The storyline was great. It was basically the witch trials but reversed, so that the colonialists were the victims of the witches. So yeah, the theme was really good. The props were amazing, like super realistic props. The sets were really well done. It feels like you're in a village in Salem, Massachusetts. Little houses that you're walking through, and lots of witches and corpses and all that. Very immersive. The acting is good, but I do feel like that is one of the things about this haunt that could use a little bit of improvement. I feel like some of the actors were not as enthusiastic as they should be, but maybe that's because we were there later in the night. I don't know, but I mean, it's not that the acting was bad. It was good acting. It just I felt like it was lacking just a little bit of energy. But other than that, all the animatronics in this house and the other ones are all like really state of the art, like very new props. You can tell that these are from like the past couple years, and which makes sense because this haunt just opened last year. And I mean, the realism of the props and the scale of some of the animatronics in here are like really top notch. The second house is Containment X, which is a zombie themed house. This was probably the least interesting of the three. It's just a standard zombie theme, not really that interesting of a story or anything like that, but it was still pretty good. Probably the scariest and goriest of the three, so if that's what you prefer, then you'll probably like this one. But we prefer the more like original theme stuff, and like Halloween, monsters, witches, spooky stuff. That's what we prefer over like the more scary, like gory stuff. But it was not bad. It just definitely wasn't up to the same standard as the other two. Still really good props though, and yeah, I mean, some of the props are so realistic you can't even tell if it's a real person or not, which that always lends itself to effective scares, and this house was no exception. Lots of jump scares and some pretty clever things. There was this one room that you could see the other side through the glass, and they had a zombie actor on the other side, like up against the glass, and then as you round the corner you make your way towards the room, and then when you get in the room, they were hiding, so you didn't know exactly where they were. And yeah, there were some pretty effective scares for sure, just not anything that stood out like the other two. So this one gets an above average score. Bite Fight was without a doubt the star attraction of this haunt. It was a super original concept. You basically had this war or big battle going on between werewolves and vampires, and I feel like there are definitely more werewolf props than vampire props, but I think maybe there was more actors that were vampires. I'd have to do it again to say for sure, but I'm pretty sure there was more werewolves, and some super impressive animatronics and really big ones. And yeah, most of those were near the end. There was a werewolf actor in a werewolf costume that was like super creepy and really like uncanny valley sort of looking. But yeah, that was one of the more scary ones. And there was a dark section with like one of the best jump scares I've ever seen in a haunt. Just a really, really good walkthrough. Some really cool sets. There was a graveyard set that was like sort of like not multi-tiered, but you walked through the first part and you could see over the fence, and you could see part of the set from that side, and then when you walked back around you did this reveal, and it was this pretty sizable graveyard scene that was almost, I'd say almost on the level of HHN or something like that. It was really impressive, and the theme of this was just great. It's always awesome when there's like monsters battling each other, and that's basically what this walkthrough was and what the storyline revolves. So yeah, one of my favorite themes of any walkthrough I've ever done, maybe. So yeah, Bite Fight, definitely a high score on this one. One of the best walkthroughs of the season, actually, and I can't wait to get back here and go through this one again. Hopefully they'll have this one and Hexen Hollow next year. I think if they were to replace any of these with a new one, either next year or in any following year, Containment X should be the first to go, because these zombie walkthroughs, they get stale after a while. I wouldn't really I can't really see myself like being that excited to go through that one again, but the other two, I can't wait to get back and do those, so hopefully they're both there next year. As I said earlier in the video, the Midway is really, really good, mainly because of the gift shop. The theming in the gift shop and the lighting and everything is just really cool, and there's a lot of cool items for sale in there. So I mean, as far as gift shops go, this is probably the best one I've ever seen at a haunt. As far as food vendors go, I only saw one little snack booth, so not a lot of options for food, but I'm sure that there's places in the mall to get food like earlier in the night. When we were there, the rest of the mall was closed, but I'm pretty sure there are places to get food in the mall. So yeah, Hera's Nightmare. This was a pretty professional haunt. You could tell that it was designed and executed by professionals in the haunt industry. And the owner and creative director, Carlos Rivas, is actually getting a lot of recognition in the haunt industry as of late because of how impressive this new haunt is.